What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a very special edition of Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic. I say a special edition because this is the channel's 50th episode. Congratulations, me. Yay, go me. Also, this is my very first config on the channel as well. Completely adjusted to my own styling. I say completely adjusted. I did a few little bits. I played around with it. I lowered the suspension down to where it is. You can see on that rear wheel there. I also adjusted the wheel sizes to fit nicely. Had to button up a few bits. Had to raise the height of the engine. Had to sort out the exhaust in there and sort out them suspension shocks in the front to get it all to fit. Make sure there was no catching in the back or anything like that snapping through. And I did change what rear end is on it just so it fits a little bit better. And I have also thrown on some additional parts, which aren't, one of them at least isn't in the standard place. I think it looks cool, but we will jump to that later on. Let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get this one cleaned up and ready to start working on. I'm genuinely excited for this one. Here we are then over at the car wash. Let's get her cleaned up. What colour is she? She looks like a purple at the moment. Let's have a look how it turns out. That is a very deep purple. That's quite nice. And these body panels don't look too bad. Hopefully I should be able to replace quite a few of these, considering they're not changeable anyway. But let's get this interior done. Let's get it back on the lift. And let's get that engine ripped out, ready to start working on. While we have the car in the air, first off, let's get the oil pan and drain that oil. The oil drain. And drain the oil out of the oil pan even. I don't even know if there's anything in there. Of course there is. Very dirty, considering it's only got 15,000 kilometers on it. Anyway, let's get that put away, and then I'll just quickly show you under here. Obviously, you can see there is clipping from this exhaust from squeezing it down that channel. It used to fit underneath and fit a lot better with the engine a little bit lower down, I believe. Obviously, but now it won't. So it is clipping a little bit down through here. I haven't done the most fantastic job, but it was mostly about the height. Anyway, let's get in and let's get this exhaust all off. And then we'll get the drive shaft and that gearbox out. And we'll get that engine ripped out, and we'll start getting the bodywork tore down, and we can start getting this car ready to go. Drive shaft out. Let's get this gearbox going. Where is that cheeky little starter? There he is. Oh, wheel. There he is, hiding under there. Get you out. Off comes the gearbox and the other exhaust, and now we should be able to hopefully lift that engine out. Moment of truth. Yeah, come out nicely. Amazing. I'm very happy with that. Let's get you put away. Looking a bit bare in that engine bay. Let's start stripping the body down. There isn't much to do, so I'll crack on with this. I'll catch you guys back here in a moment. All the bodywork and interior is off of this lovely 370Z. Let's get this engine bay cleared. There are some liquids in here, so let's do that quickly. First of all, into your additional tools, drain tool. I'll get this done, and I'll catch you guys back here in a second. All the liquid drained. Let's start stripping it all out now. Not a lot to go in here, but nice we got a battery, so I've got to get that one on charge before we go and dismantle that engine. It's good to looks all here, to be honest with you, which is a good sign. Let's have a look under here quickly, see what we've got going on. A nice full fuse box, that's what we like to see. Yeah, so I'll just get this finished off, and then next up we're going to get the suspension off, and then we're going to go dismantle that engine. I'm looking forward to that one. See you guys in a minute. Engine bay's all sorted. It is now time to get this suspension. Obviously, we know we're missing the front suspension here. We do have a medium intercooler. Front is looking pretty good. We already know what this is. It looks pretty basic. And then the rear end, this is what I swapped it to. Yes, I swapped it to my least favorite rear end. Basically because these didn't poke up through the body. So I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get this all tore down. And then we're going to get that engine sorted out. And then we're going to have to look at getting everything 3-star ready to go back on this car. Hopefully looking all cool. So I will catch you guys in a few moments. We have everything completely stripped off this car now. Looking absolutely stunning. Loving it. Let's go and sort this engine out. First off, let's get the battery on charge. And let's go get this one stripped down. Look at her. She is an absolute monster. Let's get the belt tensioner off first, which is always a good place to start. Then some belts and some rollers just to get us rolling. But let's get in and let's have a look at the top here. This split engine cover, that's quite nice. I don't normally like engine covers, but that is quite a nice one on the Nissan there. Let's just get a few of these bits torn down. We'll have a look. Let's get these throttles off and have a look under this casing at the top here. We've got the intake manifold. Quite a lot of screws on that one. Very funny, weird places as well. Anyway, then we've got fuel rails. Oh, can't get them. And then another intake manifold. Hopefully we can whack these all as performance parts and they'll be amazing. I do believe I've got to get this cover off first, so I'm going to crack on, get a few bits of this, and then we'll have a look at what is underneath these engine head covers. So I will see you guys in a moment. Quite a lot of it stripped down now. Obviously, we've got some timing chains under here, some timing shoes, the water pump, all chain and driven there. And then we've got dual overhead cams on both sides. With rocker covers, lovely, I like them, and obviously we've got the exhaust manifolds. So I'm going to get on now, I'm going to get the rest of this stripped down, hopefully, and we will come back to the car, we'll get that frame all sorted out, we'll get body panels back on, and we'll get it looking good before we send it over to the paint shop. So I'll catch you guys in a few moments. Everything is stripped off the Nissan 370Z, looking quite stunning. Its body frame is in at 60%, so it's not the worst. But let's go and grab the welder. Let's get this one up to 100% right now. How much is this one going to cost me? 1,300, not too bad. Let's get this on, and then I'm going to throw all of the body panels back on it. And I'll come back to you just before we head back to the paint shop, or over to the paint shop, should I say. The whole car is back together. Just got to get these plates on. These are 3-star license plates. I don't know why they're not showing up on there as 3-star license plates. But I have done them to 3-star. Probably a wasted effort on that one, but there we go. You can't do the body panels. You can do the interior, which I haven't even put in yet. So let's get the interior in with the 3-star. It doesn't want to let me highlight this seat very much. There you go. 3-star seats. 3-star steering wheel. The plates were 3-star as well, but for some reason it wouldn't let me. Wouldn't let me show it. And then the last 2 additional parts to go on this one. I have got a spoiler add-on at the back in 3-star like that. And I also have this off-center air scoop on the front engine like that, looking great on the bonnet. I'm very happy with that. It is obviously 3-star. But now it is time to head over to the paint shop. I'll be honest, I've thought about this car a lot because I really do enjoy it. And it is going to be black and red. It's already got red stripes on it in places, quite obviously. And I just think a gloss black over the top of that. Maybe a matte black. Let's have a look and see what we have in the paint shop. I'll catch you guys in a moment. Here we are then at the paint shop. There are no liveries for this one. Just the plain. I've gone for this metallic black. I think it looks great, especially with the red stripes on the mirrors, the door sills, the rear bumper, and the front bumper. Looks absolutely great. This is going to be a pretty much blacked out car. Depending on whether you can throw a little bit of colour on them Nissan 370Z rims, I may throw a splash of red on there, I'm not sure. I'm going to black out most of the inside of this. There will be a few splashes of red here and there, maybe on the engine cover. Nothing too special. It is going to be mostly dark, mostly chrome, or mostly black. Looking cool though. Let's get it back on the lift and start getting the suspension back in. But first I'm going to have to get it painted and up to 3-star quality. So I'll catch you guys back at the car in a minute when we're ready to throw all of this back onto the car. Okay then, everything is up to 3-star quality. Let's get these front shocks together in the lovely black and red. All 3-star across there. Looking great. Lovely in the black and red. Let's get it on the car. Now, everything going on this car will be 3-star. You'll see it there. You know, I may skip through it and do it quickly, but it is all 3-starred if it is on this car. And if I have missed it, I will go back and double check it. Now, in regards for colour-wise underneath here, pretty much everything is in black, apart from a very few splashes in red. Mostly being the springs, obviously on the shocks, which you've already seen there, looking great. And the brake calipers, which, well, you know, they are what they are. They never turn out fantastically. But they are in red. Let's see how good they turn out when we get to them in a second. As you see, as I'm throwing all of this on, 3-star across the board. Everything about this is 3-star, including the bearings, which bear no difference. But it is what it is. Even the brake pads, everything is 3-star on this one. How good is this red turn? Actually, it's not that bad. Let's just get rid of that wheel a second. That's not awful. I can live with that in the red on there. Let's just come out a second. It isn't the same red as on there. That's a bit unfortunate, but it's not bad. I can live with that. So let's jump on. Let's get this back section together. Exactly the same. Everything is black, apart from a few little bits. The springs, the rear shocks, because obviously they're not assembled, and the brake calipers are all in red across this back end. So I'm going to get this back together and I'll show you it when it's all done. There's that red shock I was talking about. So I'll catch you guys in a few moments. All the suspension there is finished, and if we see from the back end here, that's how far off it is to the red I originally wanted it. The brake calipers are supposed to be in this red, because this red will be more closely matched to the red that's on the car here, which is what I was aiming for. As you can see, well, you can see it from there, it sort of matches it closely, but the brake calipers do not, which is a bit of a shame. But all of the suspension is now finished, both front and back, all in 3-star, looking pretty tasty. A few more bits to go in, like the intercooler, the exhaust, and the fuel tank, but I'll do all of that towards the end. As of next, let's get the engine bay sorted, and then I'm going to get the wheels back on so we can get a really good idea of how the stance on this car looks. And I love this car. I love that air scoop. It is beautiful, and that rear wing on the small lip wing looks great. Here we are then at the engine bay. Everything, again, is 3-starred in here, I believe. I hope I haven't missed anything. You can see I have spent around 14,000 of the blue parts. I'm now down from just over 14,000 up to 33, and I still haven't finished doing the engine. So I'm going to have to make a few trips to the scrapyard or a barn or something like that to get loads of more scrap to get this one finished off. As you can see, color-wise, there is a couple of reds in here. Nothing too special. Obviously, all 3-star nonetheless. So we got the red fuse box up there, looking nice, and the red air filter with black clips because, well, I like to contrast. We know that by now. Not really anything special in here, apart from the fact that it is all 3-star, so it is, relatively special. But color-wise, there isn't really a lot in here. It just is what it is. I'm just going to now finish off this fuse box, and we will jump on to do the engine next. But before that, I am going to have to go and get some more scrap parts after a trip to the junkyard. So I'll catch you guys in a few moments. Engine bay completely finished, looking lovely with that red intake housing and the red fuse box. Looking absolutely insane. New things that have been done are the wheels are done. Look at them. They look absolutely great. I love how this car sits. It looks incredible. Ever so slight lean forward. Really ever so slight. So the front, obviously these are the Nissan 370Z rims, because why wouldn't you? At the front, they're a 20-inch with 185 thickness and a 35 profile. And at the back, they're 22 inches with a 205 width and a 30 profile. And I think they look absolutely insane. Obviously, I've painted them red, which gives you the red tips and the red logo with some red lug nut holes, looking insane. And I really think it's done well for the colour of this car. It actually really makes it pop off just that little bit extra. I've also tinted all of the windows all the way around with an 85% coverage on the windscreen. But it is now time to get the last thing done on this car, or one of the last things. Let's get this engine built. There should be. Oh, there you go. It should already be on the stand. I have got everything for it. It is a pretty blacked out engine, but everything on it is 3-stars, including the wheels. Obviously, they're 3-stars as well. So I'm going to build up a few bits of this, and we'll get to where there's some colour and some funky stuff. And I'll catch up with you guys in a couple of moments. See you soon. The engine is coming along nicely. Just got, obviously, the rocker arms, the camshafts to go in on this side. This side is pretty much completely finished with the head on and everything like that. I will talk about that red in just a moment. Let's get this on first, because I want to get to these covers is what I want to get to. But we will quickly talk about this cover red. Now, it's meant to be that red, but because there is 2 shades of plastic on this, this one always is going to come out darker. You can't get this much lighter. So, unfortunately, that is what it is. But hopefully, when the full engine cover's on at the end, it will look a lot different. So, let's start getting all of this on. Obviously, as we saw there's another 3-star part. I can't explain enough how much of a gruel it is doing things 3-stars. If you've done it, you will know. But I've just made 3 trips. I had 14,000 at the beginning of this video. Scrap parts. I spent all of that. I made 2 trips to the junkyard and a trip to the barn, and only just had enough. I've got 100 left over, and I'm pretty confident I've got everything done. But if I've missed anything, I'll be going back to the barn. So yes, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get the rest of this engine finished because, well, I think the rest of it is just belts and is blacked out apart from the head cover, which you've already seen. If I see anything that catches my eye, I'll bring you guys back in. If not, I'll meet you back by the car when this is nearly done. I say anything catches my eye. I've just remembered these covers are red. Now these should be in the same red as the top half of that, and they are. That looks good. Same as the fuel rails in there as well. So yes, I'll get this on. This is just in black. I tried doing it red, but it was a really horrible red the way it came out, so I left it. So yes, I suppose on the throttles. Well, I'll just keep going while I'm here. It's not like I've got anything better to do. Yeah, so, well, I'll get this finished off now. That's pretty much all of the colour. The rest of this is just belts. And obviously this oil pan is in black, the same as the rest of the engine. But yeah, I'll get this finished. I'll catch you guys back by the car. Here she is, all finished in its black and red glory with chrome exhaust. And that's pretty much all that you can see chrome apart from the alternator sticking out. That looks amazing. I can't wait to get this in the car. So let's go and drop it in. Let's get it off of this stand, back in the other room, and get it thrown into the 370ZS. Z370Z, not 370ZS. Anyway, get that put away. Oh, look at that. That looks incredible. I'm so happy with how that looks in there, with all the reds and the blacks just popping off against this body. That looks so sick. I'm very happy with that. Going to get underneath now, get the exhaust done, get the gearbox back in, the fuel tank in, and that last intercooler. And that should be it for this car, and we will be outside ready to look at it in the sun and get this one all finished off. As I said, being my first config, my first design, I am definitely 100% keeping this car because I love it. So let's get in and let's get this exhaust all finished off. Well, everything on this underside all finished off. We'll start with the fuel tank, nice 3-star fuel tank, and a 3-star fuel pump. And we'll just work our way forward from here. So I'm going to get all of this done. Let's get this gearbox in black, and I will meet you guys outside when the car is finished. See you in a few. Here she is then, all finished outside in the sun, looking absolutely stunning. I love this car. I know I designed it myself, made it myself, created it myself, so of course I'm going to love it. But I think this one really turned out incredible. I love how that engine looks sat down there in the engine bay. It looks beautiful. This interior, obviously I played no part in it, but with the Nismo Recaro seats, with the red stitching, really plays off against the rest of this car. The red stitching everywhere on that, looking great. With all the red trim pieces, obviously my red accents on the wheels, and my red brake calipers. And red shocks really shining through at the front, at the back there. And the red calipers visible at the front, but not the shocks shining through. But it looks beautiful. I'm glad that we put the extra wing on the back. Just sort of lifts it off a little bit. And I think this bonus part of the air scoop on the bonnet, sat at an angle, just looks really good. Obviously, there is nothing there. We could just pretend it is filtering back into the air intake. If we'd put it further forward, we could have done that. But yes, very happy with this. Let's jump in it and see what this one sounds like, because I am looking forward to this. Oh, first start up. Look at this interior. The red stitching really is everywhere. It looks great. Anyway, let's get this one started up. That's a very good noise. Very deep, very grumbly. Happy with that. And it is definitely got a mean rev at the top end. Sounding very, very tasty. Very happy with that from the Nissan 370Z. Let's get it on the dyno and see how much horsepower we've managed to squeeze out of this engine. Here we are then at the dyno with the Nissan 370Z V6 double overhead cam with 384 starting horsepower. We 3-starred everything on this car, performance parts, non-performance parts. So how much have we added? An additional 308 horsepower, 81%, putting our total up to 692. The stats look pretty good, but how fast will it be down the track? Let's go find out. Here we are then at the track with the 370Z. 3, 2, 1, go. It's shaky at the beginning. Will it hold? It does only have quite thin tyres on it. Hopefully it will hold on the track. They are slicks, but what speed are we going to get to by the end? So far doing well. Bumping up to 300 kilometres. Hopefully we'll get out to 400 and then some. We look like we're struggling a little bit now towards the 350 area. Go on, we can do better than this. 375, come on, you can do it. No, you can't. Pretty confident that went up to 366. So that is what we're keeping it as, 366 kilometers an hour for the slammed 370Z. Beautiful. Here we are then for the final time with the 370Z Nissan Nismo. Loving this. Absolutely loving this. 366 kilometers an hour. It does put it 27th in a leaderboard. Strangely enough, the slammed 370Z is the same speed as the slammed F100 truck that was up here, the white and blue one that is now gone. But out of 47 cars, 27th, sort of good. It's not horrible, it's not bad. I'm happy with it. I love this car, absolutely love this car. Now I'm going to do some joke figures today because this car cost me a ton, absolute ton. This is the first car that I've genuinely 100% lost money on, I believe, and regardless of whether I'm keeping it or not, I would have lost a lot of money on it. So let's just have a look at what we have going on here. Obviously this 15,000 or nearly 16,000 kilometer, my own variant of a slammed edition, one that I've made myself. I'm loving that. We did manage to squeeze loads more horsepower out of that engine, an additional 80+%, 80.1% tuning. But this screen here is my favourite. So I bought the car for 43,611. Now today, spending on the car back and forward from the junkyard and all of that, I have spent 160,434 doing this car today. Add in the price of the car at 43,000. That is 204,045 in-game dollars. I have taken a loss of 26,277. Now, I did spend a little bit more money than that today. I did buy 2 new cars at roughly around 20 grand each, but I have taken their figures out of this figure, so they haven't encumbered as to why I've lost so much. Just the 3-star tuning of cars is time-consuming. It doesn't really achieve that much. If you just do the performance parts, you'll get what you want to get. But, I just had to do it. It was my first ever config, down to 100 performance parts or tuning parts left. But I am very happy with that. We are not going to sell it. It is going to take pride in the shop. I'm unsure which to get rid of next. Which would you guys put away? The electric Mustang in its red, black and green, or the classic stunning Beetle in its red? Which one would you put away? Which one would you leave out? This is definitely going to be out because it's cool as. Which one would you have next to it? That is the question. But enough of that. This is for the next video. Let's have a look. We have the beautiful modded in Lamborghini Huracan. Modded in by Lit. It is a very good model. I do love this. I have seen a few people do them already. They are cool as. I can't wait to get stuck in to that beast of an engine in there. It is going to be a lot of fun. I can't even get to it. There it is. No, that's the engine cover. Let's just take you off for a second then. I want to get in there. There we go. Have a look at this beast of an engine. I cannot wait to get stuck in with this one. Pit performance parts all over this and make this one as fast and as insane as we can. Although it does have a Porsche engine apparently. But, there we go. Let's just put that engine cover back on before I forget about it and it gets lost. I can't bother to close you. But yes, that is it for the next video. You will have to tune in to see what we do with this stunning Lamborghini Huracan. Can't wait to get stuck into this one. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.